What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Lobola Challenge on the Pro Money YouTube channel. This week a bit of a wake-up call, a bit of a reality check, but I did foreshadow this. I have been saying for some time that not every period or week is going to be a good week. When it comes to your investments, it's not always going to be good. You are going to have your down days and your down times, but I think what's important is just to stick it out, because it's not going to be forever. But without wasting too much time, let's actually go into the account so you can see what I'm on about. Okay, cool. So we come on over to our ZAR account, and the balance is shockingly disappointing. We're sitting at 2,073 Rand 14 cents, which is quite a long way from some of the areas that we've been in, which means we're down about 23 Rand on our total account, which is a loss of about 1.13%. If you come down to see our holdings, to see what we have, you'll see we've got a lot less things. Actually, we've only got one thing, which is Sasol, which currently is not doing so great. So you'll notice I've gotten rid of our first Rand position and our Capitec position. I saw a lot of both of those in a slight profit, because I just wasn't happy with the rate that they were going at. This, like I said, is a high growth account. We need to hit that 200% at the end of the 2 years, and we're pretty much done with the first year, and we're nowhere close to our 36,000 Rand total. So it's because of that I just had to take the decision to say, okay, Sasol seems to be a really good grower. The price is quite down right now, and it could go down a bit further, but if it gets anywhere close to its previous levels, or sort of the target that we had for it, more in the so we're just looking to get Sasol more in the upper end of the hundreds, so like 180, 170, 90, maybe even up to the 200s. We're anticipating, or I'm anticipating, that between now and when we have to finish this challenge, Sasol will be a lot closer to that price. So I felt as though the current dip in price that Sasol has, I think, was a good opportunity to buy more Sasol. But again, it's petroleum, and we have said in the past that this is a very risky position to be in, or position to hold, because of all of the uncertainty around how we use fossil fuels and Sasol and so on. So there's a lot going on. Maybe we'll have another video where we go a bit more in depth into what's actually going on at Sasol, why the price keeps dropping. But I feel as though Sasol is still a very good buy. I would advise anyone, if you have any money, just buy Sasol now, because you'll be thanking yourself much later down the line, when this thing is back in the 200-300 rands per share. But again, not financial advice. I'm just saying to people, watch this space when it comes to Sasol. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at our USD account. That is sitting on $420.88, giving us a total profit of 214.26 cents, which is 103%, which still, it's okay, nowhere near our 200% mark though. As you can see, we've also gotten rid of a few other positions here, namely our JP Morgan and Microsoft, for the same reason that we got rid of our first Rand and our Capitec positions. It's because they weren't growing at a high enough or a fast enough rate to sort of justify us holding them in the account. I still think that those are two good stocks that are going to appreciate with time, but the rate at which they were going to grow, that I anticipated that they'd grow, wouldn't be enough for us to reach our target. So there's that to consider as well. So that's why I've taken it out, and based off of that, I've sort of doubled down on our Tesla position, just trying to get us to a full share of Tesla, so that we have like one complete share. So I don't think we are too far. Our current value is 374.19 cents, which is how many? About $13 away. So, you know, next time around, we might just add that extra $13 to get like one full share of Tesla. And then we're going to go on over to the ARK Invest Innovation. ARK Invest the Innovation ETF, and also just, you know, round out that position. So that's going to be pretty much our next move for the next little while. And I think, you know, what I want to say on these two accounts, or what I want to say in general with the account, is that we are growing for a high growth strategy. And sometimes what you need to do, or what you need to realize, is that what you were doing might not have been working. I still think we did really well on Tesla. I still think on Sasol at a particular point we did really well. And, you know, sometimes the numbers that you'll see here on this platform are because we've actually brought our cost basis up. Because we bought at a particular price, the first batch, you know, the value of that increased, right? We bought some more here, and we're hoping it's going to increase some more. So what it actually does is that instead of our cost basis being down here, it's now sort of in the middle, because you need to take in the old stock you bought and the new stock at a different price to sort of get your cost basis together on how much you spend on a particular share. So that's why Tesla, the numbers don't look as good as what they had initially done, because I just keep adding more into the position just to help us with our, not to help us, but just to grow our overall cost basis. And I think I did a similar thing with Sasol. Yeah, let's take a look at what the overall account is sitting on currently. And as you'll see, this is the week of the 2nd of November. I did do one for last week. I just didn't get time to actually record the video. But I did these close to one another. Reason being is that there's just another deposit that I'm going to be putting in, and I wanted to get this out before that's reflected on the account. So currently the Zara account, as we said, it's 2,073 Rand, which is not great. I mean, you look at other places where we've been before, and keep in mind, we've not taken anything out. 24th of August, which is what, a month, 2 months ago, we're at almost 3,300. So if you take that and you minus from what we're on now, we've lost almost about 1,300 Rand in value on this account. So, you know, there's a reason, there's an explanation for this. Maybe we'll get into it in a second, but that's where we're sitting. So our profit and loss, not good. You know, we're in the negative, which we've never actually been in this profit or loss on the account, but it is what it is. Movement from last week, we're down another 2%. Last week we're down about last week we're down about 22%. So, you know, this is a gradual move down. As you can see, you know, from the 31st of August we went down 4%. Bit of a gap in September. October we're down about 40%. So, you know, week after week it has been going down. Maybe you know, the reason for this, and it will also translate to the USD account, you need to look at what's going on in America currently. They currently have elections going on, which is sort of a bit of uncertainty for, you know, big investors. If someone like Trump is going to win the elections, who's someone who's very pro-business, who has all sorts of incentives and breaks for business, that's someone who's positive for investors, versus Joe Biden, who maybe doesn't have the same ideas or ideologies as Trump when it comes to how the government should relate with business. And because of that, you know, the price of things in America really hasn't, or the price of companies, the overall market, I think it's been down for some time in the past few weeks. And that's to do with that. And I think also coupled with that is the stimulus checks that they are getting in America. Stimulus check is just a fancy word for grant. They get SASA in America as well. So, essentially the SASA in America has stopped, because in order for them to pass that grant, you know, both sides, the Republicans and Democrats, both need to agree for that to be passed. So obviously the one side, because it's elections, is like, no, why would we you know, let the other side take credit for giving everyone money when it's election time? You know, it's kind of like say, for example, if the ANC and the DA were to come together and, you know, sort of give out parcels, but then the DA wouldn't want to do that in conjunction with the ANC right before elections, because it seems as though the ANC government is working, whereas it was kind of a joint thing. Yeah, that's maybe not the best explanation. That's one of the reasons why actually we're down on some of our positions, because the overall, or maybe not the overall market, but when America's down, we're all down. You'll know that thing, that when America coughs or sneezes, we all catch the flu. Same principle. But anyway, the total on our USD account, as we said, it's $420. Down from, we're at about $466 at a particular point, which is not a lot, which means that pretty much from there to now, we're down at about $40, which is fine. But also keep in mind that we keep adding on to this position. So, even some of these amounts, it isn't purely just from stock price gains. A lot of the time it can actually be because of the amounts we've added. I think the 31st of August was a much better month, or a much better week, because we were up about 227%. Between 31st of August and now, we've literally wiped out half of that value, according to this. But there's a bit more intricate maths into how we get down to 100%. It's not that cut and dry. Anyway, our movement from last week, we're up about 1.71%, but actually all in all, if we take into consideration the 26th of October, we're actually down by about 40%, which again is not great. After the previous week, we were down again by a further 85%. So, the account is not looking how it should. We need to get back to these 200% profit levels, which I believe we can, and we will. This has pretty much been the lowest that we've been since we started recording this series. So again, like I said, it's a reality check. It is a serious reality check. And then if we just come on over here to the overall account position currently, you'll see that so far we've contributed 6,000 Rand. So technically this is now the official halfway point of the entire challenge, because remember we said we're going to put 12,000 Rand and turn it into 36,000. So how we're faring, not good, because we should at least, if we're aiming for 36,000, be on 18,000 Rand as our account value. But currently it's just about at just under 9,000 Rand, which we should actually be in double the account value if we were hitting our targets exactly. But we also need to know that things don't always go 110% according to plan. The highest the account has ever been on was about 130% growth, all in all. So, where we are is quite bad. We've actually come a really long way from there. But, I still feel that we will, we'll make it. I feel that we'll get to where we need to be. We're down, and yeah, that's all pretty much that I have to say about that. All in all, I think what I want us to take from this video and this period that we're in is that the market fluctuates. You're not always going to be up. It's not always going to be a good time. Things will come down as they have. But as you can see, we had spread ourselves across mainly two industries that actually go against each other, but it's in different countries as well. And hopefully, once things start to pick up again, once the elections have passed in America and there's a bit more certainty in the world, I'm sure that these things will come up. We're also, really, really banking on companies bouncing back once the vaccines start going out for the current virus we're dealing with. So I'm very optimistic about 2021 from an investment point of view. I feel companies still have a lot to do. We can have a whole video on all of the things that Tesla still has lined up. I haven't even spoken about Tesla's financials that they recently released, that really Tesla's doing well despite the pandemic and all of that going on. So I would say overall we're in a good position. It's not great, but we'll get there. I think for now that's been me, your boy Pro MG Money. Out of here.